what to do when you feel like you're in the back of the line in life. If you feel like you're in the waiting room of life, you're waiting on stuff to jump off, you're waiting for your turn. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. I'm going to let the room fill up a little bit. This is all about what to do in the meantime if you feel like you're in the back of the line at life. If you feel like the underdog, you feel like you're in the waiting room, like when is my turn, when they going to call my name. That's what we're talking about tonight. This is all about, what if you feel like you're in a phase or season in your life where it's like, dang, I'm the underdog. When they're going to call my name? When is life going to call my name? When is it going to be my turn? Why am I always in the back of the line? So this is what to do in the meantime. Just a quick video of empowerment and patience and what to do while you're waiting on things to unfold for you, whether that's the right spiritual mentor, the right relationship, the right friendships, the right career. Maybe you have a business and you're waiting, like, when is this thing gonna jump off? I'm trying not to give up on it. So let's talk about what to do in the meantime. So if you feel like you're in the back of the line or you're in the underdog position, I've been there before, trust me. You want to sharpen your skills. Whatever you do, be good at it. If you fry chicken, be the best chicken fryer. Whatever you do, sharpen it. Excellence in all that you do, even if it's something small. Just like the old people say, and the Bible says, despise it not small beginnings. I know I'm mixing information here, but that information reigns true. I'm shifting my seat. Despise it not small beginnings. Be excellent in all you do. Live your life as if you were creating memories. You're creating your legacy. Even when you're in the waiting room phase of your life and you think eyes are not on you, sharpen what it is that you're doing. Become the best at what you're doing. If you're the hair braider or whatever you do, be the best at it. And don't be afraid to shine. Don't be afraid to take the front seat. Don't be afraid to tell people that that's what you do. Once again, another thing is to learn to trust yourself, not the advice or the validation of other people, but learn to trust yourself and enjoy your own company in the meantime while you are waiting for life to call your name, while you're waiting your turn. Because a lot of times when we're impatient, we're not trusting ourselves. We're not in alignment with what we really feel. We are waiting on someone else to give us the answer. We are waiting on an elder to give us the answer. Sometimes you already know the answer. You're just seeking a confirmation to what you already know. That meantime period is very essential. It's very important. It's where your character is built and shaped. So don't think that just because you're in a low time period that things are not moving forward. Just like if you're driving and you're using a GPS, you're going to keep going straight. The GPS person, whoever it is, Siri, she's not telling you go left or right because it's not time to go left or right. Just keep going straight for the next 10 miles. And then when it's time to shift, she'll tell you make a left, make a right. So in the meantime, don't take for granted that long period before you have to make a left or a right turn. Use that time period to do the best and trust yourself and trust the process. I was just talking about on the YouTube video, developing your relationship with the ancestors, etc. Thank you, Erica. Thank you for the emojis. Next up, which I kind of just said too, is enjoy your own company. Like yourself. Have your companionship, but learn to like and enjoy your own company. That goes back to trusting yourself. Next up, tap into your North Node, astrologically speaking. A lot of times we get caught up in our South Node and we tend to stay in that comfort zone. But if you're activating your North Node, also like I talk about in the Ori class, in the Ori book, activating your soul urge number. What is your soul urge number? Your soul number 1, 2, 3. What is your soul urge number? Tap into that. And that's going to give you the fulfillment that you need in the meantime while you're waiting on things to manifest for you. North Node, once again, is the opposite of the South Node. It is not a planet, but it's a node of the moon. Figure out what yours is, do the research. It's free to find online and tap into that energy. Be the opposite of your South Node, which is the comfort zone. Next up, get on the same page with your Ori, your highest self, which you can access early in the morning at all times. You're always connected to it. So it's about being connected to your destiny. What are the things you like to do as a child? What are the things that interest you? Nurture those curiosities. Nurture those abilities. Nurture your talents. Don't take a back seat. Beware of the company that you keep. Be around people that support and nurture your talents, your gifts, your curiosities, and won't always look at you like you're crazy. Be around people that support you and that you can be yourself with, that you don't have to put on a facade with. Find your tribe. It may be one person or two people, and take good care of them, because it is so hard to find a tribe and to find loyal people. So take good care of them when they do come. Hello, Brandon. Good to see you. Brandon Bell. Good evening, everyone. Yes, so someone just said their North Node is in Virgo. So that means being the opposite of Pisces. Don't be the sacrificial lamb. You got to move forward and prioritize and organize in order to tap into that energy while you're in the waiting room of life. Nati Natural Gal. And let's see, next up, I hope I'm not going too fast. I had coffee before my live streams today. Accept your destiny. Don't try to live anybody else's destiny, anybody else's purpose, not the purpose your mom wants for you or your big sister. What's your destiny? Live in it and walk in it. Don't envy the next person. Walk in all that you can. Be all that you can be. Be the best you that you can be. I know it sounds so cliche, but walking in that energy puts you in alignment with the right people to come into your life. Because if you're doing it how your sister would do it, or your mom would do it, or your best friend would do it, you're not walking in your own authenticity. So you're going to meet people who are not going to be authentic with you. So when you're accepting yourself, no matter how eccentric or however you are, when you walk in that and you accept it and you're living the best character that you can live, you're going to attract those type of people into your life. And that's going to bring fulfillment in the meantime while you're waiting on things to happen in your life. Another thing is too, sometimes when we're bored with life, we can often escape through technology. Sometimes you have to put the technology down. Just give yourself a few hours without the phone, without the YouTube, Instagram. If your life feels empty without it, that means it's time to address that. If your life doesn't feel full unless you have a phone or an iPad or something like that in your hand, or you don't feel full or fulfilled unless you have company, then it's time to go back and feel and refill those voids. A lot of people during the Texas winter storm, when that power was out, a lot of people realized, like, dang, I thought things were so great, but the power went out, and I got to see it's a lot of things. You know, a lot of people say there's a lot of things that they did not face. So you cannot fix what you won't face. So figuring out what the void is in your life, if there are any voids, then fixing those rather than hiding behind technology or addiction and vices will also help you have peace in the meantime while you're waiting on life to call your name. Sometimes moving, relocating to a different area, or getting away from certain people or certain family members can help as well. Sometimes it hurts more than anything else. It just depends. Everyone's destiny is different. I always determine things through divination before making any moves, so you may want to seek that out as well. If you're confused about what to do or where to go next, just ask. You know, make your list of things that concern you and ask those questions. Another thing I used to always do, which is a form of Ori work, is I would always do these journaling sessions with myself called What If God Were Me? And in those questions, I would get a piece of paper and I would write down all my questions and concerns. And then I would put a blank line underneath them. And I would write, well, what if God were me if I was in this situation? And I would put it on there. And then I would sleep on it. I'd get up the next day and then I'd answer my own questions. You'll be surprised with what comes through you, especially if you can channel with those particular messages. Sometimes the message is so simple we overlook it. We want it to be some grand guru message or epiphany. Sometimes we already know what to do. It's just a matter of doing it. Some things are easier said and thought than done. So it's a matter of having the courage to do what you need to do to move forward. A lot of times we get in our own way because we fear failure, we fear rejection, we fear being alone, we fear embarrassment or humiliation. But once you get past those particular fears, you will find that you will progress a lot forward in life. I'm gonna always say connecting with your ancestors is also another pathway, is another option that kind of smooths the path for you and kind of eases certain obstacles. So being in touch with your discernment and intuition will save you from a lot of pitfalls and wasted time when you're in the waiting room of life. Never make any moves out of desperation or and never get stuck in hesitation either at the same time. There's some people that they move desperately forward and then they make mistakes. And there's people that hesitate so much they're scared to make a mistake to where their life becomes stagnant. So either way, you want to kind of balance in between that in the meantime period of life. And the last one is, once again, I already said this, but excellence. So I'm going to reiterate, excellence in all you do, whether it's mopping the floor, frying chicken, whatever it is, excellence in all that you do. Keep doing that and sharpening what you do, and someone will take notice. Just walk in your authenticity. And that's all I had to say tonight on this short video. Does anyone have any questions, comments, or anything such as that before we close out this short live stream tonight? Please go to the YouTube channel and watch the new video I put out. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. I do tarot and cartomancy readings, Goddess. You stay divinely blessed, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for telling us. Ashe. Is life path and destiny number the same? No, they're different. Life path is the your month, day, and year of your birth. Destiny number, it tends to be tied to your name, the vowels and consonants in your name. Soul urge number tends to be something a little different. Everything has its place. So look into all of it. Know your numbers, know your birth chart, and know your potentials and know your limitations, and work off of that. We all have our deficits and we all have our assets. So accept the deficits and work on the things that you are good at rather than focusing on the things that you're not so perfect at. In the meantime, it will pay off. Everything that you do, it'll end up tying into your destiny some kind of way. Even if you feel like you're just dabbling here and there, become well versed. Be careful of hopping from subject to subject. Kind of master one before going to the next one. And once again, I repeat, looking at your north node and coming out of the comfort zone of your south node helps you in the meantime while you're waiting on things to shift for you in your life. It's like, okay, I already answered that. Let's see what we got here. How do I get my mom to understand this? She's so stuck on her iPhone and iPad. Sometimes it's not always for her to understand. If the season comes, the day will come where she will understand, or the day may not come, but you have to learn how to be okay regardless of if she comes to understand it or not. You have to make peace with it and say, it is well, my path is my path. If she understands, great. If she doesn't, I still have to move forward with my destiny, because time waits for no one. No one knows what tomorrow brings, and you don't want to get to the end of your life all of a sudden and figure that you didn't live it for yourself in an authentic way. I always say every day of your life you are making history. Every day of your life you are creating a legacy for when you become an ancestor. So live each day just like that and enjoy each day. Find something in each day to celebrate, be happy about. Reward yourself for the small victories. Don't be too hard on yourself. Let's see. You can't force people to understand. Just let it be. Ashe. Let's see. What should I be doing as North Node Sagittarius? North Node Sagittarius, that means you may not want to spend a lot of time kind of giggling, joking, and getting involved with gossip and childish things, and kind of focusing on one particular subject or one particular matter or goal at a time, rather than kind of hopping here and there like life is a buffet. You want to focus more on the bigger picture. You want to focus on one thing. You want to focus more on being the teacher rather than just the student. It's all about coming of age with the North Node in Sagittarius. My pleasure, Chemistry Alchemist. Any advice for young goddesses such as myself on this beautiful journey? Let's see. My advice would be mindful of everything that you take in, not just the things you put in your mouth, like the food you eat, but the music you listen to, the things you allow your eyes to see, the things you allow your ears to hear, and the thoughts that you allow your mind to think. We all have negative thoughts that come here and there. Treat your negative thoughts or your doubts like a wild puppy that needs taming. Put it on a leash and get control of it. Remember, you are the master of your thoughts. That is my advice more than anything else. And be careful who you take in, romantically or physically, who you allow into your heart. Guard your heart. Don't just let it be like just an open, just like an open gate. Make sure that you vet before anything else, and make sure that you don't waste a lot of unnecessary time. And always remember, use common sense and be practical in all things, even as a spiritual, intuitive woman. Let's see. Thank you. This was super encouraging. Thank you, right, Aina? I hope I said that correctly. How do you know what to do with your life, like the specifics? Yes, Melissa. North Node, life path, soul urge, divination. I'm a type of person, even as a teenager, I've always been interested in picking apart people's personalities, like doing my own research on what's my life path number, what's the rising sign, what's this and that. And I would examine those things and I would keep it in mind. And they tend to always line up. They tend to make a lot of sense. They tend to go with who I am as a person in my makeup. And I tend to walk in that. I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Divination pretty much is the summary of what I'm advising. What to do with your life, like the specifics. Yeah. Divination, Melissa. Knowing thyself, knowing your birth chart, all of those good things. Good book for beginners. It depends on what you're interested in. Are you interested in astrology, Orisha spirituality, numerology? Depends on what you're interested in. This many books, many type of books. Please specify the topic that you're interested in. Sidereal, I'm a North Node Capricorn. One thing I know about sidereal is, I've kind of messed up my screen here. I tend to look at both. I look at the Western and I look at sidereal because I find that there are truths in most of them. If it's something I don't resonate with either one of the charts, I kind of let that fly. But certain things I do resonate with on both charts. So look at it all. We are souls. We are complex beings. So keep all of it in mind. Take what resonates and leave the rest when it comes to both of your charts. It doesn't hurt to know both of them. Know as much as yourself as you can. That's the key before delving into any spiritual system or anything such as that. Be a scholar in the university of yourself more than anything else. Let's see. Would you consider walking in North Node Virgo path being of service to humanity with boundaries? I would also say learning that discrimination is not always a bad thing. You can't take in everything, be everything, and do everything. You have to learn with the Virgo North Node when to say yes and when to say no. Discrimination is essential. Not discrimination where you're hurting people or you are oppressing people, but being able to say no and mean it without feeling guilty about it, without being walked over, without feeling bad or thinking twice, and standing your ground on that. Let's see. Trust yourself. But yes, service is a part of it. Another thing with North Node Virgo is it's not always about being a service to humanity. You may have to narrow down. Maybe you have a specific group of people you are to serve, not necessarily the whole of the planet, because you can't save the world. But, whoever is called to you, being of service to them. So maybe narrowing down and discriminating, like, okay, I'm of service to this group of people, but I really don't qualify to serve these people. So once again, discrimination is a part of that life path with the North Node Virgo. I have a book on this by Channing Nichols. Channing Nichols, please leave the name of the book, please. Haven't heard of Channing Nichols? Be yourself and trust yourself. You know what you bring, please. Yes. Astrocartography. I'm not 100% well versed on astrocartography, but it's based on the meridians on the map when you're born. It tells you where your most auspicious, where your luckiest places are on the planet to live. Even if you're not going to live in those places, to visit those places will be good for you. Astrocartography tends to talk about, okay, you would do well in business in this hemisphere, or you would do well with love and family in this hemisphere, or you will be stifled in this part of the world. So it kind of looks at the map based on your natural birth chart and tells you the most, where your energy is compatible and incompatible on this planet. That's all astrocartography is. It's very complicated. All those lines and stuff, it takes an expert to read it. But it's worth the investment. If you're trying to figure out where to move to or where you belong on this planet or where you would thrive more, you can be someone to where your twin can thrive more in California, where you would thrive more on the East Coast. So knowing where you belong, finding your vibe and your tribe on this planet, or else knowing where you would have the best experiences traveling is very, very essential in your journey. Anything that you can learn about yourself that will save you time and wasted investment is worth the investment. Let's see. Thank you. Hello, I just recently got a reading confirming that Yemoja is my head, Orisha. The Babalawo told me about initiation. Let me know how to come to Nigeria. Until then, what should I be doing? Until then, you should be, well, you know what I'm going to say? What am I going to say? Somebody type in the comments. What am I going to say, Monica? What am I going to say? Working your ancestors. Working with your Egungun. Working with your spirit guides. Working with your intuition development. We were just talking about on the YouTube video, a lot of people, they rush to the to initiate, and they have not developed their intuition. They think that initiation is going to enhance their intuition. The intuition is built on the ground level. So doing all the research you can about your ancestors' guides, and doing research about Yemoja, her personality, her lessons, which tends to come up in the signs, the patakis and the odus, and understanding like certain things such as her running from an abusive relationship, and she burst into water. All of those particular things are very important. Know all that you can about the Orisha, her songs and things such as that. Are there any mantras that you recommend for healing your inner child or rituals? Om Bur Buva Swaha. This is not African spirituality. Tat Savitur Varinya Barigo Divya Samdimahi Dio Yona Prechodea. Hold on, let me put it on. Okay, so that's one if you want mantras. So that's a good one for peace of mind. When your mind is frazzled, you have anxiety, or you need something positive to listen to, you're trying to avoid nightmares, you can put that on. That's universal. No matter what you believe, no matter what system of African spirituality you practice, you can still utilize those. It's not mixing things. It's just you asking me for mantras, so there's a mantra. Om Bur, Ombhur. It's called the Gayatri Mantra. Gayatri, the Gayatri Mantra. Let's see, I struggle with my North Node in Pisces, which is also my midheaven. Any advice? Okay, now with the North Node in Pisces, you have to do the exact opposite of the North Node in Virgo. You have to learn how to not be so uptight, how to not be so discriminating. So it's the opposite of the North Node Virgo. You have to learn how to kind of let people be as they are without allowing them to disappoint you. Let people be human, all of that type of thing. And learning how to just become one with all things. That's more of a becoming one with humanity type of placement with the North Node in Pisces, if that makes any sense. Tapping more into your intuition, trusting your intuition more than the facts and logic. Not always having to go by a schedule, but kind of learning how to be more flexible, how to be more intuitive, how to be more, what's the word I'm looking for? Spontaneous. All of that type of thing with the North Node in Pisces. Any tips for North Node in Gemini? North Node in Gemini, okay, opposite of Sagittarius. You want to kind of lighten up a little bit and kind of have more fun, be a little more playful. Don't be just so focused on this one subject. Don't get to the point you think you know everything. Allow yourself to be curious about life. Be open to learn. Talk to people. Be friendly. Don't feel guilty if you want to sit down and watch The Real Housewives with your friends. Laugh, joke. Don't take everything so seriously. Use your mental faculties to enjoy life. Treat life as a buffet. It's the exact opposite of the North Node in Sagittarius. Shay. So I'm going to get ready to get off of here because it's past dinner time. My North Node is my sun, Gemini. Can you shed some light with that? That just means be the best Gemini you can be. The positive aspects of Gemini rather than the negative aspects. DJ Fresh 340, what's the best way to heal your inner child or childhood trauma? Journaling, hypnosis, past life regression. Sometimes it's not about going into a past life, but maybe it's a childhood hypnosis regression session that you need to do, which can be just as effective. But I always say certain things like that have to be done consistently. Going one time is not going to fix things. That's something you have to do consistently. Sometimes it's something that you can do at home yourself. Sometimes you need the intervention of a professional, but having someone to talk to, vent to, and journaling to yourself, accepting certain things will tend to help with those childhood traumas and inner traumas. Going back, taking pictures of yourself, looking at old pictures of yourself and writing a letter to each aspect of your life. A letter to your 3-year-old self, a letter to your 15-year-old self, etc., etc. That tends to kind of help with overcoming those particular traumas. Do I have to be initiated to find out my head Orisha and mother Orisha? No, but you do need either Ishefa, which is hand of Ifa, or in the New World it's called Ikofa for a woman, Awofaka for a man. Or you need to have something done by an Oriate in the New World called Bajado. Bajado. Any advice for North Node Pisces? Just go back and look at the video. I did advice about North Node Pisces. It's called You Were Born for This by Shiny Nichols. Thank you, Miss Maya DB. Thank you for that information. I'm going to have to look at that. Remember, If you feel like you're in the back of the line in life, or that you're in the waiting room of life, tap into the university of yourself. Know all about yourself that you can, and do everything with excellence, even the simple things. Your turn shall come. Also, look up in numerology pinnacles. We have certain seasons in our life where some people, they shine better in high school and they end up falling off later, and some people late bloomers and then they end up shining later. So just figure out where you are on your pinnacles in astrology, not pentacles like tarot, but pinnacles, pinnacles, and figure out where you are numerologically with that. You can find out that online for free. You don't need anybody to do that for you. A professional can help you kind of figure out what that means, but that's it. That's all I have for you tonight. All right. Peace and love.